So you want to start day trading and you don't know where to start. You're from Britain, God's country, and it is ambiguous. CFDs, stocks, US market, UK market. What the hell do you do? We're going to cover all of that in this video. So make sure you hit that subscribe and stick around after this. Okay, so you can probably tell I am from the UK, from the great part of the UK, which is the north of England. Now, I remember when I started looking at day trading and started to take it more seriously, it was a bit confusing. CFDs, options, US market, UK market, which broker, which platform, which scan, and it is mind-blowing. It really is. I feel you. In this video, we're going to be narrowing down where you should be looking, finding out which part of the world market you should be trading, what's safe, what isn't, what's the difference between a CFD, what's the difference between a stock, what broker you should be looking at, all the way through to what scanner, get an edge, and hopefully find your way to that successful trading journey. So to save time, please do stroke that like button, the little thumbs up until it turns blue. Make sure you've subscribed and clicked that little bell. You don't need to flick the bell, but it will go ting if you do. Okay, before we get into it, I have to say this. YouTube makes me say it. This video is not investment advice. You should go seek professional advice and make sure that the advice you take or the product you go or the route you go is specifically designed for you. This video is just for educational purposes. Okay, now the boring stuff is out the way to cover my back so I get to keep my house. The first thing people look at is what broker I should use. Markets.com, Plus 500, 212, which is a new one I've just found out. I'm actually testing them out right now. TradeZero, my personal broker, Interactive Brokers, Saxo Bank. If you're from the UK, these are the generic ones people look for. Well, that's not the first thing you should look at. We will be covering that not in a future video, in this video, but give me a couple of seconds to get there. The first thing you need to look at is what you want to trade. People who are watching this probably want to trade stocks. I mean, that's the title of the video, how to trade stocks if you're from the UK. Now, the problem is there's a bit of ambiguity here. Now, I fell into this trap myself when I started trading way back when I was actually in the military when I was 17 years old. I bought my first stock and it actually turned out it wasn't a stock, it was a contract for difference, also known as CFDs. What are CFDs? Well, CFDs, a contract for difference, is basically a broker or a platform. They mimic a stock, but you don't actually own that stock. And what they then do is rather than say you buy Apple at $100, will be soon $100 because they're doing a reverse stock split. Click that video down in the description. So what they do is rather than you buy Apple for $100, you buy it for 105 cents, and then they sell it for 99 and 50 cents as an example. And that difference, the contract for difference, is where they make their money in layman's terms. So you're not actually owning any Apple stock in this scenario. So you don't get your dividends, you don't actually own anything, it's all down to the broker. It does have its benefits though. The benefits mainly is you get to use a hell of a lot of leverage. They give you way much more money than you actually put in. Sometimes up to 20 times your money, which is crazy. Never do this. To be honest, if you're starting to day trade, don't use leverage. It's very scary, and you can get something which is called a margin call. What that means is if you put in $100 and let's say you times it by 10, so you have $1,000 invested, that stock can fall tiny few percent, and then you don't have enough money in your actual account to basically pay for the debt that you now owe the company, if you think about it. So what happens is they then do a margin call, they sell your thing for you, and guess what? That company now keeps your $100. Not that good, not that exciting. CFDs are beneficial though, if you are very careful. Myself, if I'm trading Forex or anything like that, I tend to use a CFD. You get crazy leverage, but my positions are usually very short, and I only actually trade with a very small, minuscule part of my account. And even so, I am very cautious. CFDs are very dangerous. I have to warn you, be very careful. And in my opinion, you shouldn't be looking at them if you're looking at day trading. So the next thing you might want to look at trading is options trading. Now, options trading is similar to CFDs, but Americans can't trade CFDs, so they tend to trade options. Now, options are basically for higher price stocks such as Tesla. You can buy, Tesla's riding right now at like $1,500. So that means you need $1,500 to buy one share. That ain't happening. So what they do is they make an option, and what it is it's at a smaller price. So you can buy, Tesla for $1.5, for example, which means you can leverage your money up in a different way and then buy that option. Now the problem with an option is it is a contract, so it has an expiry date. If you're in it while it expires or you lose money, then you have your money at risk. So again, options trading for me is not something for a new day trader. That's something for a later date, maybe. Don't really like options trading in general because of the crazy, way it works, to be honest, because you can blow up your whole account very, very, very quickly. So in layman's terms, what I'm trying to say to you is leverage is dangerous. Treat leverage like it's Saruman from Lord of the Rings, or from, trying to think of another British bad guy. Can't think of one. Think of a British bad guy. Tony Blair. It's Tony Blair. That's going to cause a bit of an uproar in the comments. If there's any Tony Blair fans, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not really. He sent me to war. Okay, before we get into stocks, there is one more thing, which is ETFs, exchange traded funds. Now, these are funds or groups of companies. So you can get like a tech ETF, which will just be Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, the big brands. You can get an ETF that's following commodities. You can get an ETF that's following gold and silver. You can get ETFs that follow everything. This is more for long-term investing, so if you're looking at something like that, ETFs are probably a good way to go. You can get decent leverage with them, but it's more for longer-term trading, not necessarily day trading. So now you know the difference between a CFD, a stock, a ETF, and an option. So yeah, stocks, for me, I trade stocks every single day. They're liquid, you can get in and out. You don't have to use crazy leverage. Most brokers only offer you 4 or 6 to 1 leverage. So you can get away with using a little bit of leverage, but not having to put your house at risk when you just want to trade a stock for a couple of minutes. Now, before we talk about brokers, a lot of you will be looking to trade the UK market. Now, don't. And I'll tell you why you shouldn't. Well, you can. I'm not saying you can't. I trade the UK market, but be aware that the UK market is a very, very small egg in compared to the full Sunday lunch, another British thing that you'll know about, with Yorkshire puddings, gravy, peas. Did we put peas on? Yeah, we put peas on Sunday lunch. That's peas and gravy. It just always goes together. What I'm trying to say is there's much more different stocks you can trade on the US market than there is from the UK. So that brings a lot more opportunities, but also the UK market, in my opinion, is much more regulated. So you don't get these crazy moves like KODK, which you can see on screen now, went from $2 to $60 in a couple of days. And you could have made some mega bank if you found a way into that stock, or even shorted it and found a way. Now for me, there's a video on that in itself, and I think it was a crazy ticker that no one should have traded. But my point is these happen every couple of weeks in the US market. And the reason for that is, here's some stats. So here's some numbers for you. The UK market trades roughly 1 billion shares per day, whereas the US market trades roughly 6.4 billion. So you can see there's just a lot more volume on the US market. And that comes down to how many stocks are actually listed. In the UK, on the London Stock Exchange, there's roughly 2,600 companies that you can trade daily, weekly, whatever you want to do. It's a decent amount, don't get me wrong. But the US market, you've got 3. You've got the New York Stock Exchange, you've got the NASDAQ, and you've got the OTC, over-the-counter, pink slip, penny stocks. Well, they're not all penny stocks, but they're crappy companies. And there's a lot more of them. On the New York Stock Exchange, you've got 2,500, you've got 3,600 on the NASDAQ, and you've got 10,000 companies on OTC. So we have a hell of a lot more options in the US market. So if you're looking to day trade specifically volatile stocks, the US market is for you. If you want to buy something and hold it for a long time and have a little bit of a safety net, the US market is still for you, but the UK market qualifies there as well. So for day traders, they don't really tend to go to the UK market. So just to give you a bit of variable there, if you're looking at trading the UK market, just look at the US again, because there's a lot more options for day trading. Okay, brokers. Which broker should you use? I've used markets.com, Interactive Brokers, Saxo Bank, 212 currently, TradeZero, the list goes on, TradeStation. I think I used E-Trade once. There's literally endless amounts of brokers, and it is quite hard to choose, I'll give you that. Now, it comes down to really is what you're looking for. So for me, I'll tell you my criteria. I trade with a relatively low account. I'm not looking to make home runs. I make between $2,000 to $3,000 every single month. I live in Budapest. That's a very, very good living. Now, there is some months where I make 10, 15K, don't get me wrong, but I haven't had a red month in, well, literally years. That's something quite big. and very hard to find in day trading, and it comes down to risk management. I have a very, very solid risk management. I never have crazy amounts of money on the line at one time. Typically I have between 2 to 3 grand maximum in any one trade, which if you think in percentage terms, that's quite good going. You know, just remember 5% per day trading days will double your account every single month. So you don't need to hit home runs. But most people start with small accounts, so you need to pretty much go all in. Just if you're going all in, please don't use leverage. Again, it's very, very dangerous, and your account can go pop in literally one trade. So just don't use leverage, manage your risk, and slowly grow that account by 5% a day, and you'll double it every month. It sounds easy, it's not, but you get what I'm trying to say. Leverage is very, very dangerous for new traders. Okay, so my criteria when I was picking my main broker, which is TradeZero, there's a link for that in the description with a discount link for British people. If you click that link, it gives you a very, very good discount to TradeZero. So make sure you use that link, go to TradeZero. Otherwise, if you go to TradeZero, then use that link, it doesn't work. It needs to be the first thing. So if you've already visited TradeZero in the past, use a mobile to sign up with that link. Again, you don't have to, I'm just trying to give some discount to people. And people have come and said, well, I clicked the link, I didn't get the discount because you need to use it first. I found out and I can't fix it. I'm sorry, that's TradeZero's fault. But my criteria is quite simply, there is a thing called pattern day trader if you're trading the US stocks. Now, pattern day trader rule means that you can only take 3 trades per week, per trading week. Otherwise, you break PDT and you have, I think it's a 90-day freeze on your account, which is not too good, right? Or the other option is you put 25K in your account and you're over PDT. Unless you fall under it, then PDT applies and you can freeze your account for 90 days. It sucks because it's an American rule designed for Americans in the American market, which is pretty crappy if you're from the UK, God's country, and you just want to trade the US stock market. But most brokers are enforcing this. TradeZero is not one of them. There are a few others, CMEG and a few others that don't imply it either. But if you want to trade stocks directly, TradeZero is the best, in my opinion, by a long way. For many other reasons, but you don't have PDT with TradeZero, $500 minimum. I think you get 4-to-1 leverage, 6-to-1 leverage over 2,500. Very, very good company. They accept TransferWise and Revolut exchanges because, again, coming from the UK, you're gonna have to transfer pounds to US dollars, so you can use them as well and save a bit more cash. So yeah, that's the benefits of TradeZero. Downside, withdrawal fee $60, entrance fee I think $30 or something along that. Again, click the link, it'll tell you. But on that, transfer wires in and out usually are the same with most brokers. Another thing is I tend to short quite a lot of these stocks because they're all crappy companies that I trade and they're gapping up 50-60% pre-market. I want to short them and get some of that downside potential. Now, if you want to short stocks, I'll do a video on shorting, but basically what it is you're betting against the stock to come down. And for that, you need to borrow shares from somebody else. Now, a lot of companies like interactive brokers don't tend to have a lot of these lower companies shares available, so you just can't short them. Whereas with TradeZero, they have a simple locate feature. You click that, it gives you a price, it costs you a little fee, but you have to accept or decline the fee, so it's up to you at the end of the day. And then you get them shares to play with all day, which is great because to go to someone like Centerpoint or TradeStation where you have a lot of bigger option for shorting stocks, you tend to need a 25-50K account to even do that. TradeZero, $500. It's just designed for people like me and you who are not starting out with a lot of money and don't want to trade with a hell of a lot of money from day one. If you have a successful story and you have 100 grand in your account, I probably would move away from TradeZero, to be honest. I'd look at Centerpoint or something like that. But that was my criteria. So you need to ask yourself is how many trades you're looking at making a week? How many trades, fees wise, how many shares are you going to be taking? Because TradeZero's commissions are not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive as well. And then look, if you're going short, then TradeZero is probably the best broker for you as well. So have a bit of a search around. If you want to trade CFDs, markets.com is not too bad. 212 is not too bad. If you want to trade options, again, TradeZero is quite good too. And yeah, if you want to do indices, then there's literally every broker out there. Plus 500 is quite good for that. So that is a very generic terms of what you need to do. Is you need to find a broker that suits you. Now, don't be afraid. You're not with that broker for life. You can open multiple accounts and try different ones out and then just consolidate in one account. That's what I'd suggest you do is open an account, get the best feel for customer service and platform you like. One other thing is if you are day trading, you're going to need level 2. Level 2 is something which many people have covered. Just type in YouTube level 2 or check a video in the description. And TradeZero offers level 2 with their platforms or subscription, which is quite cheap. Most companies do charge a fortune for this, but level 2 is much needed if you're looking at trading volatile stocks. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Jesus, this video is going to be a long one, huh? So the next thing you're going to need is a scanning software. I'll be straight with you, broker scanning software, every single one of them sucks. It really does suck. Their job is to buy and sell you stocks, and most of them are quite good at it, but their scanning software, their charting software is rubbish, literal rubbish from most companies. You need to learn candlesticks, so you need somewhere that's got candlesticks. That's 100% true if you're day trading stocks, especially the US market. You need a candlestick option. Most brokers offer that, so I don't think it's a big problem. But you also need something that's cheap. With the CFD providers like Plus 500 and stuff like that, you don't really need level 2 too much, so because it's a bit more of a gamble. But their charting software is probably good enough if you want to throw away your money. Now, bearing in mind that majority of people who trade CFDs go pop, their accounts disappear within a couple of weeks. So fill your boots if you want to go CFD trading. Let me know in the comments if you're going to say F it and give CFDs a go. But if you're more serious into day trading and you want to trade actual stocks, then you need a scanning software. I use TradingView. It's quite cheap. You can buy a monthly subscription on the link below, or a 2 annually subscription, and it's very, very cheap. It actually works out, I think, like $20 a month, which is absolutely bonkers crazy when it comes to the other options. You've got Stocks to Trade, DAS Trader. All of these are over $100 a month, some even $200 a month if you want level 2. This is one of the best trading platforms I have. It has literally everything on it, from crypto to indices to commodities to everything is on there, and you can subscribe to little extra markets for $2 per month as well. So TradingView is literal lifesaver. There's loads of videos on it. Mine's in the description again. Check it out, feel it, have a go, and yeah, you can have even a free trial when you sign up. But do it from the link. Helps me out, and that way I can keep making YouTube videos and boring the hell out of the internet. It's fun, no? I think I might be having a breakdown. So now we've got a broker, now we've got a scanner. What the hell is next? What do? We just jump straight in and buy Tesla? No, we don't. Next thing is the hardest thing, I think, and majority of people don't do it because they do exactly what you've just heard. They jump in, they buy Tesla, they buy Kodak, and they are forever holding the bags, as we call it in day trading, holding the bags of these companies and hoping one day to make their money back, or even break even, or just take a 10% loss, because a lot of people lose money in the stock market. It's not an easy game. But the next thing is you need to find a pattern, you need to track data, and you need to find your edge. Now, to break them down, a pattern is high of day break, something that's at all-time highs. How far up does it go for the next few days? How far down does it go for the next few days? It can be as simple as that, and then you just excel it, make it a bit more complicated over time, and try and find an edge. I am constantly doing this, because some patterns that worked for me 2 years ago are not working in this current market. So you have to constantly be doing this. It's not easy. If you want to do it full time, this is the work you need to put in. If you wanted to earn $3 a month in any profession, which is quite standard across the world, you'd be doing 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. This is 9 till 5. Well, actually, you don't even have to do that much. You can sit at a desk, have a coffee. Imagine I'm naked underneath, just with a shirt on, and you can trade and do your data like that. I'm not. I'm wearing shorts, just to be clear, but you can do it like that if you want. You know, you can put some music on and chill, track data. You can do it out of hours. It's perfect. You need to be tracking data. That data will then produce a pattern for you or an edge, and you can then use that to make billions in the stock market, right? Well, no. Another edge you need to find is against yourself. Now, for me, this comes on to the next point, which is rules. Rules are something that are made to be broken, we all get told, not in day trading. Now, when you enter a trade, if you timed it perfectly and you've got the perfect entry, you have a risk level when you enter. You need to make sure you get out at that risk level no matter what. You can give a bit of wiggle room sometimes, but in my advice, just cut that loss, move on. That's an example of a rule. Now for me, when I was tracking my edge, another rule I found is after 10:30, my short win ratio fell off the planet Earth. Literally, it was so far down, it was hitting, well, Pluto. I don't know. I don't know what's further down than Earth. My point was, from my data, it was showing that all my shorts after 10:30, the win ratio was actually 50-50. So I just stopped trading after 10:30 Eastern time, and my profits are great. Thanks. It was so easy. But it took me about 6 months of data tracking to realize that. But also as well, having rules will help you size up and grow your account. For example, if I have 3,000 shares in one position, then that's two, but one position, I can't manage it. I really can't. So 1,000 shares to 1,500 shares is sort of my maximum area I like to be in. That warrants that I really like stocks that are $3 to $25, and then I'm quite comfortable. So little things like that, these edges, these rules will help grow you as a trader, and they should always be evolving. I reckon honestly, like at least once a month, I'm either removing a rule, tweaking it, or adding a rule to my rule book. I do break them from time to time. We're all human, no one's perfect, but you need a rule book, and more importantly, please stick to that rule book, no matter what. Okay, on to the next part, which I would advise is once you've got all this set up, is obviously be on Twitter, stock tweets, look for a simple Discord or a chat room. We have our own chat room. It is a bit of a plug. It's currently $20 a month. It'll soon be $40 a month. Check it out. And yeah, you can talk to some other traders. There's a link for that in the description. But there's many Discord groups you can join for free. Join one, get different ideas, but for the love of God, if somebody in that chat room says, buy this stock, don't. The chances are they're trapped in it, they're bought really high, and they're just trying to get a little pump to push that stock up. But you can join and you can find a few friends, because trading is a, well, very lonely job. And yeah, as day traders, we don't have any friends. So it's a sad, lonely game. And yeah, I don't think I can take much more of it. So that's why we started the LWT chat room, so that we have a group of friends who are there every single day talking over the microphone during market hours, throwing out trade ideas, but more importantly, just keeping us entertained and focused into the game. Because when you're sat at your desk, trust me, when there's days where no one's in the chat room and it's quiet, I'm sat there at my desk and I'm watching 3 stocks. I just want to be in a stock just for the sake of entertainment purposes, and it's not the way to trade. So look at a Discord group or a chat room, or look at something else you can mirror in the background that's not taking up too much time to your trading game. It will help you out in the long run, trust me, because you take a lot of trades out of boredom in day trading, and I mean a hell of a lot of trades out of boredom. So that is the majority of stuff that you need to start day trading stocks from the UK. If you're looking at day trading and seriously taking it serious, I really think you need to look at the US market, look at what I've talked about. You need options when you're trading, not the thing options. I mean, you have different stocks to look at. This can be quite confusing. Ignore that I said options. You need a variety of stocks. That was very flamboyant. You need a variety of stocks to look at when you're day trading, and therefore you stop taking trades out of boredom. Some other things that you should look at if you're seriously looking at becoming a full-time day trader, especially if you're from the UK. Get on your smartphone, download Bloomberg Radio, or go online and go on Bloomberg Radio, and you can download their app, the actual Bloomberg app, and there's a media button. Click that, you've got the radio there. It's free, as far as I'm aware, up to an hour a day. So check that out when I'm brushing my teeth or I'm taking the kids for a walk. What I mean is I'm on the toilet, dropping the kids off, as it were. I just put Bloomberg Radio on and I'm just listening in, get 20-30 minutes of what happened last night while I was asleep in the market, and I know if it's going to be a good day or a bad day for the markets. Then I go into the market thinking most stocks are going to go red today, so I need to be a bit careful if I'm going long, or vice versa. There is another paid service called Benzinga you can subscribe to. You can put in some stocks you're watching and it will tell you news over that live, so you can hear that if there's earnings or anything coming out. For me, I don't think you really need Benzinga unless you're really full-time day trading. I've got it, but to be honest, I very rarely turn it on these days. Books and audiobooks. Now, we live in the 21st century. Personally, I don't really like reading that much. But in the description, you'll see a lot of books that I think you should check out. Some great ones that are just great fun to sort of read or listen. I'll be very straight with you. I've listened to them in audiobook, not read them. But these books, they're, if you're in the gym, you can just whack your headphones in, jump on a cross trainer, jump on a treadmill, or just throw some smashing weights out, curls for the girls. But while you're doing that, you can listen to some of these books and just, learn about Warren Buffett, learn about the turtle trader. And it's a good insight to the markets, and it'll get you interested in stock trading even more, and it'll motivate you. So check out them in the description. And yeah, as it were, fill your boot. Okay, just as a bit of an experiment to see who is watching this far in the video, there's 2 things I'd like you to do. Obviously, make sure you've hit that like button, but I'd like you to drop a comment below with whereabouts in the UK you're from. If you're not from the UK, drop a comment below with where you're watching it from, because why the hell are you watching this video? But if you are, thank you for the support anyway. That's sort of one thing. The second thing, maybe this is the third thing, but the next thing I want you to do is just jump onto Twitter, type in LWT Trading and find us and follow us. On that as well, drop your Twitter handle into the comments in a separate comment. Everyone who does that are going to get a follow from us, and I'd love to see your progress. If you've got any questions, tweet us and we will throw them out as well. So yeah, I am genuinely here to help you, especially if you're from Britain. I've been there. Day trading is a possibility. It just requires a hell of a lot of work, and a lot of stress and determination, but it gets easier with time. So yeah, just please be patient. Be patient. If you want to learn more about day trading, check out these 2 videos. And again, thank you for subscribing, turning on the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.